Ever since Tiny Tina's Wonderlands has been released, sniper rifles have been the butt of many jokes as they've been generally underpowered and unviable in chaos runs. Now, in today's patch, some significant buffs have been made across a couple popular sniper rifles that will potentially make a change. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the patch notes for version 1.0.3.5c to see what changes are coming for sniper rifles as well as any other additions. Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and let's see what we have today when it comes to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Alright guys, as always, let's go ahead and start by looking at these patch notes and see what changes are happening to the current featured run and events. So, do want to point out the Blinged Out Badasses event, limited time event is still going on. So for those of you who don't know, starting from last week, they increased the cosmetic drops from badass enemies, and this does not prevent other items from dropping. They have temporarily reduced the base cost of making Chaos Chamber Elite. Cosmetics also sell for 50% more. So since a lot of individuals have been playing for a while, have found most of the cosmetics already, and we're just selling them to vendor, well, now you can get a little bit more for that. So that's kind of cool. And it also says, and badasses are now dropping more cosmetics from other loot pools. So this may increase your chance to get some of those cosmetics that maybe you're missing. So that can be nice if you're a completionist. As far as the first changes, they do have a new featured run. So especially if you want to fight to go get up those leaderboards, the new featured run features LeChance and Master Tunhammer. So get ready to take on a new featured run in the Chaos Chambers, boys. Also, as a reminder, the Chaos Chamber loot room does now have the vending machine, and the merchandise has swapped out. So new potential legendaries for you to check out. Now that's all well and good, but let's take a look at the changes when it comes to weapon balance. Now this first change I'm going to basically quote from the actual patch notes. They found that weapons that spawn elemental puddles were using the incorrect source for the damage they were doing. These puddles were doing unmodified base damage from the weapons rather than the damage from the actual item card. This attributed to some unintended damage amounts for various weapons, including Envy. We have identified a bug where oil and spice does not deal damage if it's splat, and we'll be addressing this in a future update. So, if you're looking oil and spice and nothing nice as of right now, continue or stop using it because it's definitely not working as intended, and hopefully they'll get that fixed hopefully by next week's patch. So this is going to be interesting. You may start getting some quite a bit different results when using puddle generating weapons. Now, as far as some of the other legendaries, let's take a look at some of these changes because some of them are quite substantial. So they increased the Carouser's damage scaling by 16.7%. Envy's damage scaling by 21.4%. as well as includes increasing Envy's status effect chance by 100%. So they basically doubled it. So that's going to be real nice. Now, when it comes to the Tooth, its damage scaling was increased by an impressive 28.5%. Now, the portable Sawmill, they kind of did two different changes, and we have to be careful how we look at this. So this is a sniper rifle that just quite literally buzzsawed through ammo like crazy, making it pretty much unplayable. So what they did to kind of balance it out is they lowered the ammo consumption on it by 1. But in order to not make this be a crazy buff, they actually had to reduce the damage scaling by 66.3% so that they could compensate. So their whole goal was to keep the overall DPS a little bit more similar, but make it so that you can use them more often. This is also important with snipers in general, because if you miss and you don't have very much ammo, well, there goes a huge DPS chunk out. So for some people, the biggest thing is going to give them a bigger margin of error. If they, instead of 2 out of 4 shots, let's say, they're now, hitting 6 out of, I don't know, 10 or 12 or something like that, this may consistently increase their damage quite a bit. So just more opportunities, bigger margin for error, basically, when trying to do consistent DPS with this weapon. Now, they also increased Skeep Pod's damage scaling by 25%, and its beam damage scaling by 60%. So this will be kind of interesting to try out to see if this can be made viable. And then it addressed an issue with Skeep Pod that was causing the beam to deal less damage while using the semi-auto weapon mode. So if any of you swap modes and realized it was hitting like a wet noodle, well, there we go. Apparently it was a bug, and it is now fixed. And then finally, increased KO Khan's damage scaling by 62.5%. This should be really, really nice. Again, if you've been waiting for an excuse to try out sniper rifles, maybe try and make a sniper rifle build, potentially. Definitely make sure you get those SDUs maxed out for the sniper rifles for starters. That's a good beginning. And then make sure to go and get those, mythic levels and max out the ammo capacity as quickly as possible as well. And maybe something magical can happen. So that's pretty much it for this week, guys. Again, these are the kind of mini small patch notes that come in between the bigger DLC drops. So hope this is some good news for some of you out there. Again, as always, if you have any questions, do drop them in the comments below. Drop a like, and I will see you guys in the next video.